Well, hello there and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2019. Typically, I send out a New Year's email, but this year, as I am venturing to do new things, I have decided to send a video. So, hello, welcome. For those of you all who are receiving this message, most of you all are on my email list, and so that means that you have worked with me at some point in time, or we have connected in some way at events or speaking engagements. Those of you all who are receiving this message from a friend, welcome to the Niche family. My name is Kristin Davis, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm the owner of Niche Counseling and Consulting, which is a private practice that specializes in intergenerational therapy. I work with people to trace patterns of behavior over time back through up to 3 generations to help them to understand who they are and to also help them to understand how that may be addressing or affecting the issues that they're dealing with. I do work with individuals, couples, and families, but enough about me. That's not why I'm here today. I am here to welcome you to 2019. And as I have been reflecting on the new year and the things that I'm expecting for this new year, I wanted to share some of my insights and a few tips that I think could be helpful for you as you enter into your new year. Every year between Christmas, the Christmas holiday, up through today, which is the day that I'm recording this, which is January 1st, I take that time to reflect and meditate and to really focus on what I want the new year to bring forth and what I want to manifest in the new year. And so I wanted to just share a few insights that came to me during that time that I think could be helpful, and also just that I learned over my 3 years of being in private practice from working with clients and helping them to really unpack things that keep them stuck. So I have 5 tips. I'm going to try to make this video short and quick, but tip number 1 is to commit to telling yourself the truth. So one of the things that I've learned as I've worked with clients is that we have created a lot of narratives in our minds about who we are, where we came from, how we see ourselves, and that's really important. Many of those details do matter. However, sometimes the narrative and the stories that we've created are not truthful, and they are based upon what other people have told us about ourselves, or experiences that we've had that haven't necessarily served us well. So one of the commitments that I made to myself, and I'm challenging you to make to yourself, is I have just committed to tell myself the truth. The good, bad, ugly, indifferent, just the truth. Okay? I tell myself the truth. Now, once I tell myself the truth, I can decide what I'm going to do with that information after I have it. But the first step to healing and to moving forward from a stuck place is to first tell yourself the truth. So in 2019, let's commit to telling ourselves the truth. Now, also, in telling yourself the truth, one thing that you want to do is to get really clear about who you are and what you want. Okay, because everything in this world is going to rise and answer to who you believe that you are, not who other people believe that you are. And I'll share a little bit more about that process and how I might be able to be helpful to that towards the end of the video. But you got to really get clear about who am I, what do I want to manifest and bring forth in my life, so that you can begin to set some strategies forward to do so. So tip number 2 is to do less. Yes, less. I know that sounds counterproductive because we live in a world that says to do, more all the time, to really spread yourself thin. But I have learned that focusing your attention on the things that matter and choosing to do less, meaning that the things that you do are purposeful and meaningful, can really elevate your life to the level in which you want to live. Because what I have seen is that we spend a lot of time being distracted on things that do not matter. So we are peer pressured to do things and go places we really don't want to go. We spend our time and we say yes to people that we really want to and need to be saying no to. And so in 2019, we're going to focus on doing less, but doing less with an intent. okay, with a positive intent and with focus. So tip number 3, because I do not want this to be a long video, is to set boundaries. Hello, boundaries. Tell people no. No, okay? Don't want to go to a place? No. Doing something or giving so much of yourself that you're drained and exhausted and don't have anything to give even to yourself? No. Set healthy boundaries. Sometimes the manner in which people treat us, especially if it's unsatisfactory to us, is based upon the fact that we don't have any boundaries. We let people do, say, treat us any kind of way. And I am encouraging you in 2019 to set boundaries and say no. Boundary setting is a loving behavior. We have been led to believe that when we set boundaries that we are being mean or that we're rejecting people. And sometimes that may be the case that you're rejecting people, but it's not mean. It's loving, and more importantly, it's loving to yourself to have boundaries of what you are willing to do, what you are willing to tolerate, and also what you are not willing to tolerate and do. All right, so tip number 4 is to explore vulnerability. And part of exploring vulnerability is allowing yourself to truly be, to be authentic, to be honest and true to yourself about what it is that you truly desire, to allow a space for your emotions to thrive and to live. And part of being vulnerable is that you have to be ready. And I would encourage you that if vulnerability is something that you're struggling with, I strongly encourage therapy, because it can help you to really peel back the layers of what's standing in the way from keeping you from being vulnerable and allowing people to truly see who you are. So an example of vulnerability is like this video. So of course, I'm a therapist, but in doing this video, there are many opinions, many thoughts, many different ideas that people can have form about me based upon this video and based upon me putting myself out there. But what you have to be really clear about as you learn yourself, as you get clear about your intention, and more than anything, my intention is to help people, to really help people to thrive and to achieve their best life and to live unapologetically. So in order to do that, I have to be vulnerable and I have to put myself out there too. So in 2019, number 4 is vulnerability. To really practice and to explore vulnerability. And if you're not able to do that, to seek the help that you need to get to that place. So the fifth and final tip is to cleanse the past. Now, of all the tips that I've shared, I think this one is probably the most important, because as an intergenerational therapist, what I have learned is I've worked with people with their trauma and their childhood trauma or just trauma from relationships or and so forth, is that the inability to move forward is really rooted in things of the past. And so it's important that you do the necessary work to cleanse the past. Now, that does not mean that things that have happened in the past will disappear and will go away, and that the pain may not be there, and that you may not have to work through the pain and work through that experience. However, what it does mean is that it allows you to manifest the life that you wanted, to elevate yourself to the place in which you know you deserve to be. All of us have a place, a thing, a feeling, an experience that we know that we deserve. However, sometimes the past is holding us back. So fifth and final tip is to cleanse the past. And some ways to do that is to forgive, to do the work, to learn to let go, and to learn to surrender. Because sometimes surrender really is the most aggressive behavior that you can do, which is just to let go and allow whatever is intended to be. So those are my 5 tips for an epic new year for 2019. In 2019, I know I am expecting really great things to happen. I'm expecting to help more people and to affect more lives. And my hope for you is that in 2019 that things will shift and that you will achieve the life that you know you deserve. Again, my name is Kristin Davis. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in Charlotte, North Carolina, but serving clients all over North Carolina. And if you're interested in learning more about me, I encourage you to visit my website, which is listed below. And for those of you all who visit the website, I have a little treat for you, and that I have condensed these 5 tips into a handout for you that you can share with friends. Here's to a year of epic experiences. Welcome to 2019.